All right, we're back. Um, got a few more packages came, and we're gonna get through them. If you watched the last video, we started in getting some stuff from a new theme, and I have a feeling that some of these packages are gonna have a few more of those things as well. But we'll get into that as we come across them. And as always, um, looking for one thing, checking out people's pages, finding a bunch of other stuff that I'd like to have, or didn't know I was looking for, and add to the collection. So we did do some of that. I think I usually mention it towards the end of the video, but we'll start at the beginning. RadioSunnyside.org. You can stream Get You One Radio Friday evenings in Pacific Standard Time, Arizona. It is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Friday. And it's if it's a live show, it usually is. If not, you'll hear a rebroadcast. But make sure you're checking that out. If you are seeing this on the social medias, then I also do have a YouTube channel that I try to get these videos up on a YouTube channel because they tend to be kind of long, and I can only get away with so many minutes on like Instagram and that type of thing. So make sure you're checking out the YouTube channel. It's Get You One Radio 5688. I think you might be able to look up just Get You One Radio at this point, and then it will come up with some of my videos. I do have the rebroadcasts of the live radio show on there too, to the best of my ability, getting around YouTube's algorithm and that type of thing. So anyway, welcome to another unboxing video, because I know you people love that type of thing. There's a few here. I did get a couple that are only singles. I guess they didn't have that much stuff, or whatever the case was, or maybe I paid more than I normally would from a single person. I don't really remember. I try not to remember. But this one, just because it's on top, it comes from Fred Strange, I don't know, from Jackson, New Jersey. Came to me. And let's see what I got from old Freddy here. Just a single package, not very big. Wrapped in the newspaper. JerseyShoreOnline.com. The Howell Times. Okay. Alright, so there's actually two in here. Oh, cool. Alright, so we gotta break into the LaCroix and their Zia Records. Noise. I do have a few albums from this group. There's a bunch out there too. This one looks probably a reprint or some sort. Yeah, 1998 reprint from 1972 album. Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill. Sweet. Yeah, a bunch of cool stuff on this one. And was looking for some tunes that weren't on any of the greatest hits or whatever either that I have of Steely Dan music. And I like a lot of the ones on here. Do It Again, Dirty Work, Reeling in the Years. Only a fool would say that, you know that. Some Steely Dan, cool. I think that's the one I was looking for from this page, and looking through everything else, I came across this one that I don't have yet. It's the Bad Plus, and I think they just self-titled this one the Bad Plus. It's a 2022 release of the Bad Plus. Still Reed Anderson and Dave King, but then they added guitar, Den Monder, tenor sax, and clarinet, Chris Speed. So it's like a newer, if not the newest, the Bad Plus release. And it's just in this plastic dealio. I'll probably take it out of that. And like a digipack. That works for me. Always good, bad plus. Check them out if you don't already know. There's another one from the top, and it's I think this one is a single. The Great Escape from Nashville, Tennessee. Got that. These ones more envelope style. I can just tear into. Yeah, single. So this is 1996 release. I'm gonna have to kind of edit it here, but it's The Doors Are Young and Good Looking. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry, get us banned. But yeah, typical dwarves do a cover like that, but there was some stuff off this one. Not my favorite dwarves. I do have some of their other stuff, but this one it had some stuff, and I'm looking for some releases from the 90s, some punk rock stuff. So that was a good one to pick up. This one comes from STBA. Don't really remember what that is. He's got it all taped up, so I'm not going to fight with that. I'm going to pull out the new blade, cut into it. Bag. Wrapped again. This type of guy. Yeah, so right up on the same lines of that Dwarves album. And as I find myself rebuying things that I had when I was in high school. But you know, along the same lines, looking for some 90s like pop punk style stuff. Will be coming on radio shows soon. You may have already heard it by the time that this video comes out. But yeah, and filling in some blanks here. So this is Pennywise Full Circle. I believe they had a bunch of albums and stuff. I wasn't always a big Pennywise fan, but this one has some tunes that not a bunch of people know and that type of thing, and they're kind of known for some of that stuff off of this. Pennywise Full Circle, yeah. 1997, Epitaph Records. Cool. I don't think I ever owned this. I might have had like some of the songs off of this on random compilations that I would buy. If you remember buying CDs in the 90s, you know, $20 maybe for a full-length CD, and like $2 or $3 for a comp. And especially if you're just like a youngster looking for new punk rock music or whatever, that was kind of more my speed at the time. And then I would hunt them down otherwise. But then this one for sure, the Bouncing Souls, and this is their self-titled from 1997. Another Epitaph Records. They're putting out all kinds of stuff like this, and I probably still have this disc somewhere. You can Unforgettable Football in there. But the Bouncing Souls, I listened to this group a lot when I was in high school and stuff. This got some fun, so you know, just fun stuff on it. And yeah, I got that one again. Oh, we're gonna go for this one. Ben Barnett, Armageddon Shop. And it's like seriously wrapped up. So we're gonna have to cut into it. This guy had a ton of stuff. Like, I think I had to narrow down my search just to see the rock and roll, to cut all the various other genres of music out of like 11,000 CDs or something like that. I don't have time, patience for any of that business. So I look what I'm going for and just take it from there. Give you my secrets for you aspiring music collectors. They do have, you know, CDs and cassette tapes and vinyl records and DVDs and 8-tracks and all kinds of stuff, whatever you can want media-wise for your music. You can do it there on the Discogs. Been kind of cool. This goes in here. I'm tearing it apart. And I always remember as we start opening things what I was after. I have a feeling a lot of the haul, and this is going to be that same type of thing. Yeah. So we'll follow that up. That last Bouncing Souls, and this is the first Bouncing Souls album that I had gotten. It is Maniacal Laughter. It's got a price tag on it, $2.99. That seems reasonable. The case is all in really good shape. Disc is good. Maniacal Laughter. Again, had some fun tunes on there. And they call Chunkshaw Records. Doesn't show me that I can read quick enough what year that came out. Mid-90s probably. This I definitely had. I probably still have the disc somewhere just itself, but it was not $4.99 as it says on here, but it's that infamous Green Day Dookie album. This had the hits that they came out with mid-90, 1994 it says on there. You'll remember that type of thing. Before it got them big, but it was like before they were, you know, making Broadway musicals and stuff. This one was just in there, and I wasn't necessarily looking for this, but I know some tunes off this that I like. It's Jagger, Wandering Spirit. It's Mick Jagger, if you can't tell. Mr. Mick, produced by Rick Rubin and Mick Jagger, 1993. I don't think I have any Mick Jagger solo work really, but there's something off of that that's decent, so I picked that up. It might have been $1.99. This one's a little off kilter. I knew that they had this on there. And a couple of their albums I was hunting for a little while. I had a friend that was really into this group. And it's a jam band, the Disco Biscuits. Disco Biscuits, 2009 release, Planet Anthem. Don't really know too much about that album. But the Disco Biscuits stuff, if you're, you know, in a jam band mood, you can throw some of that on there and that'll do just fine. From some requests and stuff, I had gotten this, some albums from this group. I didn't have this one. I think I do have like a best of or whatever, and there was still some stuff off this that I didn't have. But it's a 1990 release, Social Distortion. I think that's a self-titled 1990. Got a bunch of the hits on there. Story of My Life, Sick Boys, you know, Ring of Fire, that Johnny Cash cover and stuff. And they all still look kind of young dudes on there. Social Distortion. People like that one big time. This one I definitely had over the years. Got rid of it, I think. Don't know, but I listened to this like crazy when I first got it. Reverend Horton Heat, It's Martini Time. Yeah, It's Martini Time, the title track off that one. I think I saw it in a snowboard video or something back in the 90s, and then got turned on to the Reverend. And then yeah, this was one of my more favorite groups in the '90s. Still will listen to this stuff as often as I can, I guess. And I didn't have this album, so it was kind of cool to see it on there. I think it might have been this. Price tag says $3.99. That seems like about right. And I come across these a few times, but it's usually just too expensive to even think about. But the Dead Milkmen, Big Lizard in My Backyard. That's got Big Lizard in My Backyard, Bitchin' Camaro. This one's good from beginning to end. There's 21 tunes on there. That's kind of cool. 1985, Big Lizard in My Backyard. One more. It says Discogs. Doesn't really say who it's from. I forget what his page is. I would give you a shout out if I knew. It's a big one. Bunch of stuff in here. Yeah, a few of the orders that I made fairly recently. These guys' shops had a ton of stuff, and all just a couple of dollars, and so I had no problem going for that. New knife, trying not to slice my arm off. Almost into the outer layer. Well, I would edit these videos, but I think people watch the videos to watch me struggle more than anything else. One layer off. Let's see if this gets us in there. Was a box of Twizzlers. And fully sealed in the USPS envelope. I mentioned it before, there are no two packages ever wrapped the same. There's a message in here for me. What does it say? It's like a U2 cover. Thanks. If you have an issue with any CDs, please let me know. All the best, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Slide here. Okay. I'm gonna start right on the top. Didn't have this one. Led Zeppelin In Through the Outdoor. And that's got some cool stuff on there. Fool in the Rain, 1979 release, produced by Jimmy Page. Like that. It's got just a plain disc. Whoa, falling out of there. It's in good shape. And this was a band from the 90s. I don't know what a lot of their stuff was or where they kind of went, but I knew a song off of this one, and I remember liking the video or whatever at the time when when bands would make videos for the MTVs and put those on there, and that's how you hear about their stuff. But it's Stabbing Stabbing Westward, Wither, Blister, Burn, and Peel. Almost bought that one a couple of times whenever I've seen it. And then whenever I actually decided that I was going to get it, I couldn't find it. Or then I would go actually like, oh, I'll see if I can find that. And it's like $12 or something like that used, and I'm not into that. So I found it cheap and picked that up. For whatever reason, there was something I was looking for from this fella, and because he's got a bunch of albums too, and it's, the times of his stuff, some I can handle and some I can't really, but then I have bought some of these compilations that they do, the Essential, and this one is like a 3-disc Essential, so and it's got a bunch of stuff on it, so I just went for it, and it was cheap. But it's the Essential Bruce Springsteen. You got a young Bruce there on the front. There's a bunch of tunes, 3 discs. I don't know why they call it bonus disc. Like, what's the difference? But whatever. Bunch of stuff on here. The hits of the Springsteen, the boss. Yeah. So this group, always into this group, and I have a lot of their stuff. I have all their studio albums, not many. I think there are only 3. And then solo project from Mike Doughty, but it's Soul Coughing, and this was a like an EP of some sort that I hadn't really ever heard of, but it's called Made Especially for You by Soul Coughing, and it's like this like cardboard sleeve. It's kind of old school too, feels old, but it's got some unreleased stuff on here. Super Bon Bon Live, Screenwriters Blues Live, Collapse Live, Janine Live. So some live stuff. Some Soul Coughing, a pseudo official release. It's Warner Brothers Records. Yeah, I'd never seen that, so that was cheap when I picked it up. It says $5.99, but it was not. I have a ton of Grateful Dead, but this guy had this studio album, Shakedown Street. For whatever reason, didn't have that one, the studio on there. But yeah, I decided to pick that up. Shakedown Street in itself. If you're a Grateful Dead fan, in my opinion, I think Shakedown Street is probably one of the funkier tunes that they ever did. I remember seeing this in like a jukebox back whenever jukebox were CDs, and I'd always play Shakedown Street on there because it's kind of a long track and get your dollar's worth for a song on the jukebox, and it's funky, so it's always fun. Shakedown Street, Grateful Dead. Let's go. This is some singles. Mr. David Bowie. Look at that crazy picture of him with that hair. I Dig Everything, the 1966 Pie singles. Wasn't super familiar with that, but it was cheap. And it's got some songs onto it. Kind of cool. And I've been picking up the Bowie that I don't have when I come across it. So let's go. To keep it on the 90s like punk rock stuff, that I don't know if I ever had the cover of this. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But lost it a long time ago. But it was Offspring Smash, and that was like their first album that got them real big. Had Come Out and Play, and Bad Habit, some tunes like that on there. Self-Esteem, don't remember, but yeah, they got a little bit too much for me after this one. Another Epitaph Records 1994 release, but yeah, add that to the collection, why not? What brought me to this guy's page And this one I've been looking for a while, and it's available, but it's generally more expensive than I wanted to pay. But Herbie Hancock, Future Shock. If you're not familiar with Mr. Herbie Hancock, you've probably heard the opening track off of this sampled many times in the 80s, like hip hop world. This was released in 1983, but the song Rocket was, Herbie really experimenting with synthesizers and stuff like that, and absolutely will get you breakdancing if you put this on. I have this on a 12-inch record, Rocket, and it's awesome. And I don't have that many vinyl records, so the fact that that's one that I do have is sweet. This, I was kind of surprised that this showed up, or that they had it, and it's one that's kind of overlooked as a Dischord Records release. But it's Egg Hunt, Me and You, and that's Mr. Ian MacKaye putting his head through the thing. There's only 2 songs on this, Me and You and We All Fall Down. You've probably heard those and didn't necessarily know. You thought it was Minor Threat or Fugazi or something like that. Egg Hunt, and I think when I first heard this, what is it? I don't know if Ian ever puts the date on these suckers. 1986 was when it was originally recorded, and then this was probably released in 97 as a CD. And it doesn't really say, but recorded at Southern Studios in lovely Wood Green, London on March 27th, 28th, and 30th, 1986. And so when I got into looking at this, oh, that's funny. It says this CD is only $4 post-pay in the U.S. So Ian and Jeff Nelson, so it says Ian MacKaye, guitar, bass, and vocals, Jeff Nelson, drums, gum, and vocals. They got together that weekend, and that was Easter weekend 1986, and recorded two songs, and they called it Egg Hunt because of Easter, I believe. And there's like all this candy and stuff in the background. That's pretty funny. But yeah, sweet. You've probably heard some of these songs potentially. If not, check them out. Really good if you're into Ian, as I am. This is Dischord Records, so Dischord 20. So pretty early in the Dischord world too. So that's it. Let's see the haul here. Video getting long. $21 by my count right there. That's good. Filling in a bunch of holes for some stuff that I had gotten rid of years ago and I'm rebuying, but for well cheaper than they ever were when I first bought them, so that's fine by me. And then always fill in some Grateful Dead studio albums as I find them. I think if you look, it's right up here. Like all of this up here is all Grateful Dead that I own. I'm gonna make some space so we can put one more in there for now. And then David Bowie, of course. Dead Milkmen are always good to find, and some of that pop punk stuff and Steely Dan. So make sure you're checking out the radio show, and you can see what we do live with some of these albums. But that's gonna be about it, and we'll do another one soon, probably. All right.